Now what?
How will I know if I'm on my high-flying disc? How will I know?
Well, you won't know it first. You won't know till you get there. And then it will be really obvious. So if you don't know, you're not.
Okay. It'll feel really good, though.
It will feel like fresh air. It will feel like lighthearted. It will feel like elation. It will feel like clarity. You'll find yourself it just feels good. But you see, it's relative. Everything is relative. And so at first you'll reach for the high flying disc and you will reach a higher flying disc and it will feel better, but it won't be the highest of flying discs, but it's an improvement. And then as you keep reaching for the higher flying disc, it will be an improvement until eventually it's the sustaining of it. We would say, are any of you playing with this high flying disc? Are you feeling the difference in your experience? And would you say that the word clarity is a big piece in the feeling? Clarity? It really is the feeling of the absence of resistance. Because you see, on any of those other discs, even though, let's start with despair. Tremendous resistance in despair. Fear, tremendous resistance in fear. Revenge, slightly less resistance in revenge. Anger, slightly less resistance in anger. Frustration, quite a bit less resistance in frustration. Overwhelmment, pretty close to frustration. Hopefulness, big jump, much less resistance in hopefulness. Believing, way less resistance. That's a big jump from hope to belief. So when you get into those categories that we're describing as hope and belief and knowing, that feels like sureness, feels like confidence, it feels like certainty, it feels like clarity, it feels like passion, it feels like enthusiasm, it feels like laughter, it feels like fun, it feels like jovial, it feels like upliftment, it feels like lighthearted, it feels like easy, it feels like funny, it feels like love, it feels like appreciation. So when you get into those emotions that feel like that, you only know it because you've had the comparative experience. You see what we're getting at? So achieving that, you can all do that. We could tell you a story right now, and if we held you in concentration for a minute or two or three or four or five, we would bring you unquestionably to a feeling of love and appreciation. That's what those rampages are that we all get on together every now and again. For sure, for sure, for sure, for sure. But it's the sustaining of it that is really what we're asking you to reach for, because the sustaining of it in this day, in this day, in this day, makes your propensity for it greater tomorrow. And then the sustaining of it tomorrow makes your propensity for it greater the next day, until it just becomes so natural for you that it just feels odd when you're off. So that if someone presents something to you that initially feels good, and you acknowledge how you usually feel, and you identify with specifics what feeling good really, really, really is, then you can feel the offness of anything. You'll get to the place where you'll just know when a person enters your experience whether you want to proceed or withdraw. You'll know when any idea that they are presenting enters your experience whether you're wanting to proceed or withdraw. And your initial response to it is almost without question the right one. Isn't it? Haven't you said that about yourself before? I knew that initially, and then I talked to myself, then I got myself into a different place about it. So the more mornings that you wake up with the intention of clarifying your vibration and being in that good feeling place, then the more anything that is off from that will stick out like a sore thumb. It really is that simple. And we're not for a moment wanting to guide you away from thoughts that may have some resistance within them. We're trying to guide you to knowing the difference. Your question is the perfect state of being that we want you to be in. We want you to care about whether to move forward with this or not. We want you to care about the emotion within it. We want you to be able to consciously and personally discern it. you see. Because by the time you ask somebody else, the moment is past. These rendezvous, they're junctures that are always opening for you. So it's like a series of paths constantly opening. And when you've been in a consistent vibration, the path just opens and 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 not only leads you pretty swiftly to where you want to be, but it's really a delightful journey on your way to where you want to be. And the same thing is happening with the paths that are opening to the things you don't want. And we just think it would be a really nice thing, and it's ridiculous for it to be any other way for you. We want you to know which path you're on, and we want you to know at the beginning of the path. We don't think you should have to get so far down the path with so much discomfort under your belt before you realize that but even if you've gone, so picture this. Did you get a sort of picture of that? The paths? So let's say you have enough momentum going that this path is lighting up, 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 lighting up. You're having a pretty good time, a good time, a good time, a good time, good time, good time. And it leads to things that when they manifest, you like them. Then there's this other path that, because you've been complaining and you've been worrying about that, and so this path lights up for you too. It's like the universe says, oh, you like that? We'll come this way, there's more of it. Oh, you like that? We'll come this way, there's more of it. Oh, you like that? We'll come this way, there's more of that. Oh, you like that? We'll come this way, there's more of that. Or the universe is also saying, oh, you don't like that? We'll come this way, there's more of that. Oh, you don't like that either? We'll come this way, there's more of that. Oh, you don't like that either? We'll come this way, there's more of that. Well, you don't like that? We'll come this way, there's more of that. At any point along these paths, oh, come this way, there's more of that, you can say, oh, wait a minute. I remember what high flying felt like. I remember that train of thought that I had that felt better. And you can be along that path, remember what that path felt like, and that path begins to turn and lead you back over to this path. It really is that way. With all kinds of converging, rendezvousing thoughts and people and comments and circumstances and events. So your question is a good one. And this is what we heard you say. Abraham, how far along my negative path do you think I should go before I decide to do something different? That's what we heard you say. And our answer is not that far. Not that far. Because there's a momentum. There's a momentum in the path. There's a momentum that will carry you until sometimes, and that's why we've been saying to our friends recently, when you realize that you're on that path and you don't have the presence of mind to do something about changing the direction of it, take a nap. Take a nap or meditate. Do something very different from what you're doing. But don't keep talking to that person in the way you're talking to them about the things that you're talking about. Don't continue whatever's going on, because it's just going to lead to more and more and more. Esther, when she first began really hearing us, about 100 times a day, we heard her say, "Shut up, Esther." And she was just talking about her own mind. Or she would say, "That's unnecessary. That's unnecessary and unproductive." Just sort of talking to herself, just as she became aware that there was momentum on some thoughts in some directions that were not serving her, were not going to lead to where she wanted to go. But,